Why do cans last years, but apples rot in days? The secret lies in a fascinating journey from battlefield desperation to modern engineering. Food decay is a natural biological process driven by hungry microscopic organisms like bacteria and mold in our environment that quickly consume fresh ingredients and break them down. Long before anyone understood why meals spoiled, a massive logistical crisis forced humanity to find a practical solution. During the late 18th century, the French military was expanding across Europe, and soldiers constantly suffered from severe malnutrition. This hunger wasn't caused by a lack of provisions, but because raw rations degraded rapidly during grueling, unpredictable campaigns. Recognizing this, the French government offered a substantial financial reward of 12,000 francs to anyone who could invent a reliable method for preserving military food over vast distances. A confectioner named Nicolas Appert accepted this challenge. Appert spent 14 relentless years meticulously experimenting with various preservation techniques in his own kitchen. Through exhaustive trial and error, he discovered a brilliant method to stop the natural cycle of decay. He placed prepared food inside thick glass jars, sealed them securely with layers of cork, wire, and wax, and then boiled the jars in water for an extended period of time. The food remained perfectly safe to eat for many months at a time, defying all odds. Shortly after this breakthrough, a British merchant named Peter Durand recognized a critical flaw in the design. Heavy, fragile glass jars were entirely impractical for the rough, turbulent conditions of maritime travel and bumpy military wagons. To solve this durability issue, Durand patented the ingenious use of tin-plated iron containers. These early metal vessels were incredibly sturdy, but manufactured with metal so thick that soldiers often had to use heavy hammers or even rifle bayonets just to force them open in the field. The dedicated can opener wouldn't actually be invented for another 40 years. Despite this initial inconvenience at dinner time, the fundamental concept remained highly effective. Fast forward to today, and that rudimentary invention has beautifully evolved into a highly precise industrial marvel. The modern commercial manufacturing process is a flawless choreography of speed, heat, and pressure. This strictly controlled operation begins the exact moment the crop is harvested from the fields or the catch is brought in from the sea. To ensure maximum quality, processing facilities are often built immediately adjacent to agricultural fields. This strategic placement allows raw ingredients to be transported directly from the soil to the factory floor in mere hours, capturing them at their absolute peak ripeness and flavor. Once inside, incoming produce and meats are washed, peeled, chopped, and prepared by fast-moving automated systems. The prepared food is then rapidly loaded into pristine metal cylinders on a high-speed assembly line. The vessels are importantly filled to the absolute brim with water, natural juices, or savory broths. The specific purpose of adding this liquid is to completely displace and push out any trapped ambient air from the container. Immediately after filling, an automated machine tightly crimps a sturdy metal lid onto the cylinder using an interlocking double seam. This rim is lined with a specialized sealing compound to guarantee absolute structural perfection. This strong closure creates an airtight fortress, completely isolating the internal contents from the unpredictable external world. Followed by the most critical phase of the entire process, which relies on intense heat treatment. The required temperature depends on the natural chemical composition of the food, specifically its acidity level. Highly acidic items such as tomatoes, citrus fruits, and pickled vegetables possess a hostile natural environment that inherently inhibits the growth of severe biological threats. Because of this built-in acidic barrier, these foods only require a standard boiling water bath to become safe for long-term storage. However, neutral low-acid foods like meats, seafood, dairy, and most fresh vegetables present a fundamentally different challenge. To guarantee absolute safety, These sealed vessels must be processed using massive industrial pressure cookers, known as retorts. These enormous machines efficiently process thousands of units simultaneously in a single batch. By applying intense pressure within a sealed chamber, these machines force the steam to reach temperatures far exceeding the normal boiling point, reliably hitting around 116 degrees Celsius or 240 degrees Fahrenheit. This pressurized thermal energy penetrates the metal walls, transferring heat through the liquid and cooking the food straight to its core for a precisely calculated time. Once complete, the machines are opened, and the heated containers are subjected to a controlled, rapid cooling process using chilled water baths. As the temperature drops, the liquid and cooked food contract slightly in volume. Because the packaging is permanently sealed and external air cannot enter, a strong vacuum is generated inside. The atmospheric pressure of the outside room pushes against the exterior, causing the top and bottom lids to pull slightly inward. This rigid surface serves as a reliable physical indicator to anyone handling the product that the vacuum remains perfectly intact and the internal environment is uncompromised. Beyond merely preventing decay, this preservation method is incredibly effective at maintaining the nutritional integrity of the harvest. Essential vitamins and minerals often degrade rapidly when exposed to environmental factors. Because opaque metal walls block all sunlight and the airtight seal halts the introduction of fresh oxygen, the enclosed food is entirely protected from oxidation. This is the exact chemical reaction that causes a sliced apple to turn brown and lose its nutritional value when left out on the counter. By stopping this reaction, the packaging preserves the original color, fresh flavor, and nutrient content over an extended period. In many scenarios, these preserved products hold a significantly higher nutritional value than supermarket produce. Fresh grocery store produce is frequently harvested before it is fully ripe, spends days traveling in trucks, and slowly loses vitamins to air and light exposure. Meanwhile, produce destined for the processing facility is prepared and permanently sealed within mere hours of being harvested, effectively locking in its peak nutritional profile and pausing the biological clock. The modern preservation cylinder stands as an electricity-free marvel of applied physics, chemistry, and human history. It ensures seasonal harvests remain accessible and nutritious long after they are gathered. It transforms a fleeting summer harvest into a reliable resource, stored securely without the need for constant refrigeration or specialized care. It allows humanity to conquer the seasons, bringing the world's bounty into our kitchens. When kept intact, the nutritious food inside remains perfectly safe.